And on today's unbiased short take, Packers football is back, baby. I know this is preseason, but the Packers did beat the Cleveland Browns today in Cleveland with a final score of Green Bay 23, Cleveland 10. Matt LaFleur announced earlier this week the starters would play. Me and JB did talk about that this past week's podcast. If you have not checked that out, go check that out. And it did not disappoint. The starters did play, the defensive starters and the offensive starters. Josh Jacobs got 1 carry for 7 yards, but Dontavian Wicks took a pass to the house from Jordan Love. 2 for 2 for Jordan Love, 1 touchdown, and on 2 passes, Jordan Love had 63 yards. So 2 for 2, 63 yards, 1 touchdown for Jordan Love, 1 possession for the starting offense, and a touchdown. It was explosive, and that's why I've been paying the most money in the league. You want to see your starters get some reps, get tackled, get a series, and get some continuity. That way you don't come out rusty in the regular season opener. And the offense looked outstanding. That's exactly what I wanted to see, and that was my expectation. Go out there and score a quick touchdown, and they did. And it didn't disappoint. The starters left the game shortly after that, and then Sean Clifford took over, which is interesting. So that shows that really he's the second quarterback on the depth chart right now. Emmanuel Wilson did have a really good day. He did score the other touchdown, the second touchdown of the day for the Packers in the last. He had 67 yards, 5.2 yards a carry. So it was good to see that again. Marshawn Lloyd did get hurt. He did not return with a hamstring injury, so we'll monitor that. Kind of sucks. A.J. Dillon had 4 carries as well, getting some hits and getting some game reps in again. Dontavian Wicks out there again. Malik Heath, Bo Melton. You had Samari Toure out there, Josh Jacobs. So ultimately, you had a Grant DeBow have the most yards, leading with 66. And the defense looked good too. Anthony Johnson Jr. forced a turnover in the game. And you had Van Ness, our first-round pick from last year, had a sack in the game as well. So that's what you like to see from your young players as well. And ultimately, here was a spotlight. Was, like I said in this past podcast, was the kicking battle. And the Packers went back and forth with Anders Carlson and Greg Joseph. Alex Hale appears to be the one kind of on the probably going to get cut. Didn't play at all today for the Packers, so that's to be monitored as well. But Carlson was 2 for 2, 46 yards was his longest, and he made 1 extra point. I was very impressed with Carlson and Greg Joseph too. He was 1 for 1 on the day for 35 yards, and he made his extra point as well. So no missed kicks today from Carlson or Joseph. It's a tight kicking battle. It's been a tight kicking battle all training camp long, and it's continued in the preseason. I expect us to really go down to the wire on this one. It might go to all 4 wow. I'm going back in time. All 3 preseason games. So that's something else to be monitored, the kicking battle. Daniel Whelan, the punter, had a relatively decent game as well. He had 2 punts for 91 yards and had 1 punt inside the 20. So a good special teams performance from the Green Bay Packers. Good possession from the offense and the starters. And the backups came in and did an outstanding job too. Sean Clifford, 10 for 19, 111 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Michael Pratt, 5 for 7. 46 yards. So it looks like Sean Clifford will likely be the backup again. Michael Pratt might be the 3rd quarterback on the roster or a practice squad position player. We'll monitor that moving forward. So the Packers get the win. I know it's just preseason, but ultimately you want to win these games. Why not? I mean, you're going out there, you're playing the game. You want to see good development. You want your roster to be a deep roster. And that shows in the preseason if you are or not, if you're a deep roster construction organization or not. And they beat the Browns 23-10 today. So it's ultimately what we want to see. Again, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Like us on Facebook. Check out The Sports Fact of the Day. Fantasy football unbiased hard take is coming up here in, I think, about 12 days. Yeah, the 22nd. So we're excited for that. That's all I got. As always, boiler up. Let's go Heat. But most importantly this time of year, go Pack, go. Great start to the preseason for the Packers. I'm impressed. I give this an A+. Feels good to win, whether it matters or not. So we will see you guys in next week's podcast.